I just finished interviewing over 30 entrepreneurs, and here are the top tips you must remember as you get ready to pitch. Hello, I'm Dr. Lisa Tumine, a mindset coach and a founder here at Zantu Capital. At Zantu Capital, we pride ourselves on connecting entrepreneurs to funding. And for our Investor Gather Summit that's coming up on next weekend, we can't wait to see the entrepreneurs in the room. But here's the thing, after reviewing all the pitches and listening to the entrepreneurs, this is the feedback I must give. Number one, investors are looking for someone with a clear vision. If you cannot articulate your vision, no matter how great your business is, you're not going to get the funding that you need. Number two, your team must be intact. Investors are looking for someone who has their team right. Is this team competent enough to execute once given the money? Is this team a team that can be in this thing for the long haul? Because remember, sometimes when this money is given, these are 3-year projects, 5-year projects, and 10-year projects. Can your team hold for that time and actually be trusted to execute? Is your model scalable? I mean, a viable business model must have a clear path to growth and profitability. How do you plan to grow? Are you going to make the profit back? And so here are some of the common mistakes that I've seen founders making. And these are very promising startups, but their pitch deck is weak. Number one, they don't have clarity and focus. You can't do everything. So in as much as your business wants to probably target this market and that market and bring in this product and that product, you can't do everything at once. You must pick one, focus, execute it well, and then scale, and maybe add a few products to your list, but you can't do everything at once. Albert Einstein says,
"If you cannot explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough."
So you must be able to explain what you're doing in one single sentence that is clear, and that even a 7-year-old child that understands English can understand what you're doing. Number two, don't make unrealistic projections. All these projections you're making are going to be calculated based on the valuation of your company. So don't just wake up and say, oh, we want 1 million. From where? How? And is that the worth of your company? Is that what you're going to put in? So it's not just an unrealistic projection. And don't just claim that you'll capture 10% of the market in 1 year without a credible plan. If your plan is not credible, that's a major red flag, and investors are not buying it. I mean, they've seen it all. They've seen these big promises, and these big promises have not come. $100 million by the end of next year in revenue, and we're going to have a 90% gross margin, and we're going to have a 1% market share of the $5 million trillion market. But what's your strategy? And if the strategy is not aligning with the numbers, it's going to be a no. Another thing is that you have not analyzed your market and your competitors. You must analyze who are the competitors in the market and what can you do better than them. What are you doing differently? What makes you stand out from the competitors in the marketplace? If you dare say we have no competitors, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing to say. Anyway, just know that. You must understand that even if you don't have direct competitors, you always have indirect competitors. So an analysis of your competitors is so important, and also showing what makes you stand out and what makes you different. Another thing is the valuation delusion. Don't just value your company at a certain cost. We are going to get our accountants on the team on board to actually value this company and tell us if this company is worth that. You cannot claim a $10 million valuation for your pre-revenue startup. It's not even ambitious, it's just delusional. I mean, if you have the backing to prove it, well, great. The financial analysts will be able to tell us if your company is actually worth that. So have a realistic valuation, and this is going to build more credibility. So here's your pitch deck blueprint. If you don't know how to create a pitch deck, you've been hearing pitch deck, you don't know what is included in a pitch deck, here is a step-by-step breakdown so that you can go and create one and adjust. The first thing you must remember about your pitch deck is to keep it clean. I've seen so many pitch decks that have so many words that make it so hard to understand. And now picture us, the judges, who have to look through this thing in 5 minutes because we have like a long line of entrepreneurs to get through. And you have written a 5-paragraph description of what your problem is. Put yourself in my shoes. I mean, it's going to be so hard. So remember that your first impression is so important. This is your digital handshake. So it must be clean. It must be simple. It must not be busy. Preferably pictures and not so many words, because it's hard to get through all those words. And I wouldn't want to miss the information that you're portraying. So make sure that it is uncluttered, clear, clean, and professional. Okay. Number 2, you go to the vision. Make sure that you can describe your entire business in one compelling sentence. Okay. So for example, EcoStay makes eco-friendly tourism simple by providing sustainably built and operated accommodations for environmentally conscious travelers. What does your business do? Tell it to me in one sentence, So number 3, the problem. Why should we care? Why should anyone care? So define the pain point that you're trying to solve. Make it relatable. And how you usually can make a problem relatable is starting with a story and say, meet this lady, she's my neighbor, and she goes through this and this and this and this problem. And so our solution is coming in to provide ladies like this, such and such and such help, So I feel like, oh, she's your neighbor. She could be my neighbor. It's so relatable. And you're making this an urgent real life example problem, not something that you fabricated in your mind and you're imagining that there's a problem, yet probably there isn't. But I mean, if you're telling me about your neighbor, then probably there is an actual problem. Then now you present your solution next after explaining the problem. And so that's why we came up to provide this and this and this service to address this kind of market. Show, don't just tell. If you have a product, a prototype, a demo, a sample website, or samples of what your product is, have those products. Show, don't tell. Show the investors your products. If you can carry them packaged, have them packaged and carry them. Show the investors what you're building. If it is an app, then screenshot some of the features of that app and show it such that the investors can understand what you are doing. After that, next is the market opportunity slide. The market opportunity slide has your total addressable market, your serviceable available market, and your serviceable obtainable market. Understand what these are and where you and your business lie. Okay? Now, ask yourself, how do you make money? Tell us. We want to know, if we put this money into you, how are we going to get it back? How are we going to work together to get this money back? So you're going to say, well, probably through bookings, or probably through the sale of equipment, or the sale of materials or subscriptions onto this platform. And so you're showing that, okay? And now, what is your traction? That's the next slide. What's your traction? How far have you come? Show us your partnerships. Show us the things that you've developed. Yes, the product that you've developed. Show us the number of users that your product now has. Show us the tests that have been conducted. Show us the certifications that your product has already gone through. We need to see if you are on the right track. Can you be trusted with money? If you can do it on your own, then if I gave you the money, you could do it as well. So traction is just proof of concept. It's proof of your ability to execute. It's proof of your skin in the game. I mean, why should I put my skin in the game if you're not willing to put your skin in the game? So the more traction you show, the more convincing it is. Okay? So even without significant revenue, even if you've not made money to show us your traction, those partnerships are very valid as traction. Those certifications are very valid as traction. Those early testings are very valid. Those early users are very valid. We'd love to see that 100 people have used your product, even if they were not paying customers, but at least you have validated it through some kind of system. Okay. Now, after that, what makes you unique? You see, you have to stand out. What makes you stand out? And what is your plan for growth? Your go-to-market strategy. You're standing out and you're going to the market through social media, and you're going to the market probably through radio, television ads. Maybe you're going to have field agents. What's your go-to-market strategy? Now that you stand out, you have a great product, you're unique, you have this traction. How will you penetrate the people in the market to reach them with your service? We want to see this. Are you going to use influencers? And then we're going to want to see the team. Who are the people that are behind this? Showcase your founders, showcase their relevant skills, show their passions, show their past achievements, but just keep it simple and show your financial projections as well. This is how your projected revenue is. How do you look at yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? In the next 3 to 5 years with this money, do you plan to grow? How does your financial forecast look like? I mean, you can draw it in a graph form like what is portrayed here. And you can break it down such that the investors have a clear visual Then show us the roadmap. In year 1, this is what we're going to make based on our projections. In year 2, in year 3. So like I said, you can design it into a graph as needed. And the slide that you must never forget is the ask. It is so surprising, but out of the 30 entrepreneurs that I interviewed, 3 of them did not have the ask slide. So how are you supposed to receive funding if you're not asking for the funding? What do you need? Do you need partnerships? Do you need mentorship? Do you need the financial assistance? So what do you need? I am seeking $1 million in funding, in seed funding, and then after seeking that money and stating how much you're seeking for, show how much equity you are offering in return. Say probably I'm going to offer you a 15% equity stake in this company, and show the expected return on investment in the next 5 years, or in the next 8 years, or in the next 10 years. I expect to give you a 5 times growth, a 5 times return on the money that has been invested. This is the slide, your ask slide. And then you must be able to show your use of funds. Break down how the funds will be allocated to achieve the specific critical milestones. So say we're going to put this percentage in development, this percentage in marketing, in operations and hiring a team, and finally end your presentation with a strong, clear call to action. This is just a bonus slide, but if you have this, then it is good to go. So now here are some design tips. Your pitch deck should be clean and have mostly the representation of what you're doing. So I recommend that you use photos to capture the investor's attention. Remember, these are human beings just like you. They're probably exhausted. They probably flew a long journey to come and be where you are. They have family. They have a lot on their minds. So if you want to capture their attention, use pictures to represent what you're talking about. Number 2, use a consistent color palette. So if you've chosen green, stick to green and white. If you've chosen blue, stick to that kind of consistent color palette such that it's visually appealing and not overstimulating. And keep one idea on one slide. So if this is traction, let traction be on a separate slide. If this is a problem, let the problem be on a separate slide. If this is the solution, let it be on a separate slide. Visualize your data. Use bar graphs, use pie charts, and try to leave plenty of white space for our eyes to breathe. And I'm sure that you know this. Practice, practice, practice. Your delivery is as important as the deck itself. So you must know your slides inside out, but don't just read them. Tell us a story. Tell us something you're passionate about, something you're confident about, something that you've been putting your effort and your time in. Help us to feel the passion that you feel by helping us to visualize it through the story that you're telling. And remember to anticipate the tough questions. You're going to be asked what your numbers look like. You're going to be asked what the market size looks like. You're going to be asked about your financials. So be prepared to answer these questions. Just know your numbers in and out. And if you don't know the answer to the question, it's okay to say, I'm not so sure about this. Allow me to do more research instead of lying. Because if you lie, you will be found out. And when you're found to be lying, that will affect your image. And so the investors will say, this is not a trustworthy person. If they can lie on this small thing, then they are not worth holding the money that we want to invest in them, because they might be lying there too. So that is going to damage your credibility if you dare tell a lie. You'd rather stay honest, because guess what? They're going to get a financial analyst to come and analyze all of these numbers that you're claiming. And if you're found out, it's going to be messy for you and you will lose the deal. And yet if you were honest and said, I'm not so sure about this, allow me the time to do some research and I'll get back to you, you will have still maintained that relationship. And now, handling feedback and rejection. Not every investor will say yes, and that's okay. Not every investor is interested in your business. Understand this. Investors invest in the field that they're most comfortable with. If they know agriculture, then they'll be more comfortable investing in agriculture. If this one is good at computers, then they'll be more interested in investing in computers. So if your idea is something with AI and this person is not even computer literate, don't take it personal when they say no. Maybe it's just that they don't understand the business. And that's the dynamic here. It doesn't mean that your business is a terrible business. It just means that you have not yet found the right investor. And guess what? You get yourself back up and you keep refining your pitch deck until you find that perfect investor that is willing to give you a shot. And trust me, once you do, you will not regret all the time it took. Remember, great companies also face rejection. Even when Elon Musk was trying to build his companies, he faced rejection from different funding potential funders. They did want to fund. Some people rejected him, but he never stopped looking for the funding. Canva, I am sure you've heard of Melanie Perkins, who is the founder of Canva. She pitched to over 200 investors before she finally found the one that invested in her. So if you have just started, if you've not yet pitched to 200 investors, then keep going, keep pitching, keep showing up in those rooms, because one day you're going to be recognized, and that one day will be your day. Don't ever give up. Take all the negativity as a learning opportunity, refine your pitch deck, and come back at it stronger with better traction when you know the numbers in a better way, and keep pitching until you get the funding you need and the funding you deserve. And remember, funding is not a one-time thing where we come and we say, wow, I love your pitch, here is the money. That's not how it works. It's a relationship that we build over time. Remember, investors invest in people that they've built relationships with over strangers. Let's focus on building those relationships. So even if the investor has said no, keep their contact, call them out for a coffee. You never know, one day in the future, they just might say yes, or they might connect you to someone in their networks who could be your next investor. Remember, at the bottom, people compete, but at the top, we collaborate to ensure that all of us have the best that we need in order to grow our businesses. So let's partner, let's collaborate, and keep building the future of the world. You are making great progress, and you have the potential to do groundbreaking things. And the reason why you're watching this video is proof of that. I believe in you, and I know you can bring great things to this world.